You weren't the problem child. You didn't cause trouble. You didn't demand attention. In fact, you made things easier for everyone. You stayed quiet. You handled things on your own. You didn't ask for much. And somehow that became the problem because no one noticed you were hurting. And over time, you became invisible. Maybe you remember moments like this. You're sitting in a room full of people, family, noise, conversation, but no one is really talking to you. You're there, but not really there. You learned early that being easy was safer, so you didn't interrupt, you didn't complain, you didn't express too much, and slowly people stopped checking on you, not because you didn't matter, but because you seemed like you didn't need anything. So they focused on the louder child, the difficult one, the one who cried, demanded, broke things. And you became the good one, the quiet one, the independent one, the invisible one. Here's the part most people don't realize. Neglect doesn't always look like neglect. Sometimes it looks like peace. No fights, no chaos, no obvious pain, just a child quietly raising themselves, learning to self-soothe, learning not to bother anyone, learning that their emotions can wait. And at first, it feels like strength. You become mature too early, responsible, easy to love from a distance. But inside, something important is missing because every child needs to be seen, not just managed, not just tolerated, seen. Pause for a second. Think about this honestly. When you were younger, did someone truly notice how you felt? Not what you did, not your grades, not your behavior, but you, your fears, your sadness, your quiet moments. Or did you learn to hide them so well? A kid that even you stopped recognizing them? This is how the invisible child becomes the invisible adult. You grow up, but the pattern stays. You don't ask for help, even when you need it. You don't express your needs, even when they're valid. You sit in friendships, relationships, hoping someone will just understand without you having to say anything. And when they don't, it hurts more than it should because it's not just about now. It's about every moment you weren't seen before. You might notice it in small ways. You overthink your messages before sending them. You hesitate to share your feelings. You downplay your problems. It's not a big deal. But deep down, there's a quiet voice saying, why doesn't anyone notice me? And that question, it doesn't come from nowhere. Here's the truth. You didn't become invisible by accident. You adapted. You learned that being quiet kept things stable, that asking for less meant disappointing less, that being easy made you acceptable. And it worked. It protected you, but it also cost you something. It cost you being known. Another moment to pause. Ask yourself this. Do people really know you? Or do they only know the version of you that never asks for too much? The version that listens but rarely speaks? The version that's always fine, because those are not the same thing. And deep down, you know it. Here's where it gets even more complicated. When you've been invisible for so long, being seen starts to feel uncomfortable, even scary, because attention feels unfamiliar. Vulnerability feels risky. So when someone finally tries to get close, you might pull back, not because you don't want it, but because you don't know how to receive it. And now, the very thing you needed growing up feels hard to accept. You might find yourself in relationships where you give more than you receive, you listen more than you're heard, you understand others, but feel misunderstood. And people might say, you're so strong, you're so independent, but they don't see the other side, that you had to be. There's something no one tells the invisible child. You were never too quiet, too easy, too low maintenance. You were just unnoticed, and that's not the same thing. Here's the realization that changes everything. The world didn't ignore you because you weren't worth seeing. It ignored you because you became too good at hiding, because you were never meant to disappear. You were meant to be known. So if you've been feeling invisible, maybe it's not because no one would see you. Maybe it's because you haven't let yourself be seen yet.